And the whole point is, if we actually get the fiber optic cable that we paid for from the early 90s on, well, then that solves the whole problem of the digital divide, and you don't have to have too much wireless. The whole goal here is they're trying to put wireless broadband in your neighborhood. That's where you have the problem. If you have these things further away, you're okay. If you have them up close and personal, can get into trouble. So that's all we're saying is if we're rational about this, we don't have to go down the bad path. Okay. So Wire California has some stuff about these 3 bills. We don't have to get into the specifics of these 3 bills in California, but if you live in California, you're going to want to read about these things here. Okay. This is an excellent video. This is done on Netflix. It's about 15 minutes, and it will tell you the whole criminally sad story of greed. That's what the digital divide is. They have the ability to close the digital divide. They always have. They just don't do it because it doesn't make as much money. That's it. But this guy from Netflix really explains it well. And so everybody can remember it. Okay. Hey, this is part of the Sheckley video that we did with Mark Kulatz. We did about 7 minutes of it right here. And Timothy Sheckley knows all about municipal broadband. I would actually go that. What is going on is that this is one that I did in 2018. You skip over that. But this is what I wanted to show you. Okay. These things are not just 5G. They are 4G plus 5G. And a good thing to call them is so-called small wireless telecommunications facilities, because they're not really small. They might be small in dimension, but not in power output. That's the key thing. Okay. So if you look at 5 bars on a telephone right there, that's the kind of thing you need to make a phone call. That's good. If you had that and that's all you had, life would be good. But they're doing things like this. So that's 1 million to 100 million times higher than you need. And this is in your bedrooms. That's the problem. So this is this house that I've shown before. This is in Sacramento. This was turned on in 2019. In the first 2 weeks, these 2 little girls, 3 years and 6-year-old girls, got sick and had to go to the doctor. And it's because of this antenna. And they got a diagnosis. And so we went ahead and measured exactly what was in the bedroom professionally with that building biologist guy with certified equipment. Okay. And you'll see that if you compare it to a macro cell, macro cell is a big thing. It's about 200 feet in the air. It's about 2,500 feet away from your house. And it's going to give you about minus 85 dBm, which is 0.002. Life is good. Okay. That's good. This thing is delivering 50,000. That's 25 million times higher than you need. That's the number that matters. It doesn't matter what it compares to some guideline. That guideline is meaningless. What matters is how much higher is it than what I need it to be? Okay. And then it goes on, and this is the video to watch about the Chinese system. This is 24/7 government surveillance. California's headed right here. And it's all about how they have 1 camera for every 7 people in China, and they have facial recognition happening in real time every single day. And this is what this whole system is about. Okay. It is about a social credit score. And if they don't like the way you're behaving, they take away your privileges. You're not able to buy a train ticket. You're not able to get the loan. You're not able to do many things. It's social engineering based on credit worthiness. I would look at it. This is what they're selling to cities in the United States right now. What does it take to run the system? Oh, it takes a 4G, 5G grid built in your neighborhoods. Does this sound good for America? Doesn't sound good to me.
It sounds incompatible with America. China's a different country. They have a very different history than the United States does. I'm not sure.
The technology's the same.
The technology is the same.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. The same technology that enables that system is being installed and run in America right now. Just letting you know. So you can just look at the receipts. That's the whole point. Who bought it? You can find out what cities bought it. You can understand who's selling it. You can understand what their plans are. Look, they keep telling you Internet of Things, Internet of Things, Internet of Things. Okay? That's for 24/7 surveillance. Absolutely. That's what it's about. They're going to do some nasty things to us. They're going to get some unrest about that. They want to make sure they can ferret that out right away. This is how they do it. The answer is you should have freedom and privacy in your own house, in your own community. You cannot do that if they install these things in your neighborhoods. They get too much of a foothold.
And what does my audience think that they're going to be monitoring with these? Do you think they really care what you're watching on TV?
they know through your own smart meter in your house exactly what electrical device
Yep.
you're using on a minute by minute basis.
Well,
They already have that. They know when you're watching TV.
they can measure it all. The question is, why? Why go through the bother?
Why?
It's a lot of work.
Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? It's all about targeting. It's all money.
I'm not.
Come on. I can actually send a message out to this particular family because A, we know they're home. B, we know what they're doing. C, we know what kind of people they are. We've already figured them out. And so this is your exact message that you get.
I'm
That's
not
what it's
joking.
for.
I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. This is a lot of infrastructure. People need
Yeah.
to maintain it. They need to update it. There's compatibility issues. There's a lot of work here, a lot of work involved in managing it. And the question is, it's why? Why go through all the bother? It's a very genuine question, and I'm trying to understand what is it that is they planned. It's not just can't just be advertising revenue. Look, the people.
Oh, it's not just advertising
the people
revenue.
putting this stuff up own the money printers. They don't need the money. That's just an aside. It's something else. I think it's understanding people's living patterns and then mapping it to their health profile based upon what type of injections they may be getting throughout their lives. That just
might
me.
be a part of it too.
I think that's a huge part of it. But again, that's just my hypothesis, and there's many other very competitive hypotheses out there as well.
Yes. It's competition of ideas, and you're a pretty smart guy, Mark. So you come up with a lot of good theories. So we're happy to hear about your theories. That's a good thing.
What is yours? Again,
I honestly think that we're heading to severe austerity measures. Essentially, they want to take America down a huge notch. And so the whole program there is to say that life in the future for Americans will not be what life was like. And we're going to start cracking down on everybody. And so we're just going to manage America just like one of the puppet states around the country, around the world. And we're going to try to get some control over it and maximize profits for whoever the people are at the top. And, don't care about anybody below them. That's kind of how it's going to go, I believe. Hey, but that's just a theory. They're going to have to get around us and beyond us to make that happen. I'm one who's going to fight it every step of the way.
Amen.
I have no problem with that.
Amen.
So just say no. Hey, the answer to the big great reset is a big fat no in thousands at your city councils. That'll do it. Hey, but if you stay asleep on the couch, well, it's coming your way. So I would say get involved now and head it off at the pass. I would say don't let them build the damn grid. That's what I'm saying. So let me tell you another great thing that happened here. Mark, you had Andrew Campanelli come on your show. He did a great job in 15 minutes.
He did.
He turned around.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. It was episode 71.1, everybody.
Okay. This is another gift he just gave to the entire country. This is April 9th, 2021. That's not many days ago. This is one of the best full legal analyses that you can find on the web. It's about 11, 12 pages, but you can copy and paste it right out of here. And he lays it all out for you and your city attorney. I would copy paste this and get this into your city attorney right away. And you will learn a lot just from going through here. And you can get much stronger and much better ordinances just by learning from the best in the country. He released it to somebody else. He said, I have no problem with you sharing this anywhere you want. And I got his permission. I put him on my website. It's great. Okay. And so I would definitely take a look at this. This is an 8-page letter. This is probably if anybody's out there who's an attorney or understands anything about policy, this is probably one of the best letters you'll read. Okay. This came out on the 14th of April. This is the guy who lives near me, Harry Lehman. He is the guy that really helped move the votes 4 years ago. And he just came out with the other big shoe-dropping detail all about what's going on at the FCC and how when they cut corners, they actually shoot themselves in the foot. You'll learn all about it. And it all comes from one lawsuit that seems to have missed. Other people have missed a key point. But Harry, nothing gets past this guy. This guy's really bright.
Will it become clear if we were to, and I'm not suggesting we do this now, we'll be wrapping up soon, but if we read through this, would it become clear, or does a certain type of knowledge required to read this?
I'm going to hit the highlights for you right now.
Okay.
And I'm going to say,
please.
If you want the whole story, read all 8 pages. But it all comes from this. Boom. Oh, not that one. I'm sorry. I guess it's, oh, I left, I didn't go there. All right, hold on. I'll have to find it now. Here it is. I'll go to it right here. Okay. This is from a lawsuit. This lawsuit was in August of 2019, and this was the FCC order that established what a small cell was. And what they did is they came out with a silly definition, and they said, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to write an order, and we're going to define what one of these small cells is. It's something that's 50 feet or less in height. It has an antenna no more than 3 cubic feet, and it's got equipment no more than 28 cubic feet. When it meets that criteria, it's now a small wires facility. This is a new category. And because it's a new category, we will regulate it as a separate thing. And because it's a separate thing and we just want to do it fast, we will exempt ourselves from having to do any kind of environmental review under the National Environmental Policy Act. That was the order they wrote. That was the first foundational order right out of the box in March of 2018. And in fact, it was that way in our country for about a year, from July of 2018 all the way up to August of 2019. Well, what happened then? They went into court. And they lost. What did they lose? They lost the environmental exemption, and they lost the definition. There is no definition of a small wires facility in the United States of America. Doesn't exist.
There was, at least
there was for 1 year.
For about a year, and then it was overturned.
Year. So here's the judges. This is what they wrote in the actual order right here. Small cells had not previously been defined or regulated separately from macro cell towers. And the definition attempted to do it. And the definition was wiped out. So what was the FCC supposed to do? They were supposed to go back to their desks. They were supposed to go back and do the environmental review on the full 800,000 to 1 million cell tower increase that small cells were going to bring. They were supposed to put out a notice of proposed rulemaking.
I'm going to cut you off right there. 800,000 to 1 million towers?
Yes.
Increase.
Additional. And on top of the 350 we already had. 350,000 is where we started. They're going to be about 1.45 million when they're done. Okay. Wow. This is all on the record. Wow. This is what they claim it's going to be. Okay. It's probably going to be more than that. Okay.
That's like one for every 200 Americans.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Wow.
They have one camera for every 7 people in China. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You don't want this to happen, and you don't need it to happen.
So you only need, I'm just doing like the quick math, right? So that means you only need 40 cameras per tower ratio. And then you're at the same ratio as China.
Yeah. So all I'm telling you is
we're not that far off.
I'm just telling you, it's not good. So here's the deal. Okay. Because they were supposed to establish what a small cell was, they were told how to do it by the courts. Who was at the head of the FCC? Ajit Pai. Who is he? He's an old Harvard frat boy. He just gave his middle finger to those judges, and he didn't do that. He actually just went out in an order in October of 2019 and decided to try to just, fool them all. I'm just going to write the definition right back into the rules because we needed it. Well, why? Because after March, we had 2 other orders. We had one in August and one in September, adding all kind of the extra benefits to small cells. You know, had to have 60-day shot clocks, do these fast. We could only charge $270 per pole. Now, there could be no moratorium. All of those benefits point back to the old definition that's no longer there. And the FCC, in their weak-ass attempt to put it back into the record, fatally shot themselves in the foot. Any attorney worth his salt can carry this right into a courtroom and basically dismiss all of the small cell benefits. The FCC right now treats them all like macro cell towers by law. This crumbles the whole agenda right here. And your state laws that are now inconsistent with the federal laws, that can crumble the state laws. I'm telling you, this is the thread Mr. Lehman is pulling right out from under him.
I love it.
This is a big deal, okay? And so at the end of the day, it's all pretty well explained here. And it was all out of that August 19th decision, okay? And so that was a huge ruling. And it basically crumbled the whole small cell agenda. Hey, look, the FCC could have done the right thing, but they didn't do it. They cut a corner. And we caught them. And, we informed the FCC about this in October of 2020. We talked right to them about it. I have a whole record of that conversation with another attorney with them. They have no answers. What was the response? The response was, we will get a whole bunch of legislators to come forward with 15 bills, all proposing the same thing. We will, by passing a law, not have to do NEPA review. None of those have passed yet. They're scared. They know this is it. So the answer is, how fast we move can change our history going forward. But this is a big material, previously hidden fact. Now it's outed. No, I'm just trying to tell you, there is no small cell definition. It doesn't exist. It was not properly established. It's clear to the judges what's going on. So that's a big deal. I just wanted you to know that. So I know it's going long, but I'll leave it with that.